Student Rec Center is lifting some of its restrictions. I'm Devin Harrison, and I found out just how loose it's gonna be.
It's time for a coffee break. I'm Keegan Shannon, and I'll be taking you inside Toledo's new and inclusive coffee shop.
Traffic buildup. Find out what's slowing down cars in downtown Maumee.
Your news in 10 minutes starts now. A new traffic pattern is frustrating citizens in one UT10 community.
UT10's Jake Dyke is live in downtown Maumee. Why have officials made this traffic change?
Maumee officials say they tried to make a positive change by reducing commercial traffic and boosting downtown business. However, this change may have caused more harm than good. I joined the Maumee residents Facebook group to work on this story, and citizens post nearly daily about the traffic buildups here downtown.
The city of Maumee has made a controversial new traffic pattern permanent. In October of 2020, city officials decided to change Conant Street, which runs through downtown Maumee, from a 4-lane road into 3 lanes. The added space allows for more pedestrian walkways and parking for downtown businesses. This change has been controversial among Maumee citizens, as it has reportedly caused major traffic buildups. I drove through downtown Maumee multiple times during rush hour, and it didn't seem too bad. However, citizens have been taking to social media nearly daily to voice their concerns. Maumee residents say that their commute times have slowed drastically, and Conant Street is the only way to get over the Maumee River. According to Maumee Chief of Police Dave Tullis, there are a couple of times a day that the traffic is worst. But according to him, it's always been that way.
When it started being congested, but it's always been congested. I've been an officer here for 36 years. It's always been congested from 4:30 to 6:30.
Recently, the city has put in timed traffic lights to try and combat the buildups.
It moves in a way that it continues the traffic moving until you're out through the downtown area.
The police chief says this section of Conant Street sees nearly 25,000 vehicles per day, and currently traffic is moving pretty steadily. Live in downtown Maumee, for UT10 News, I'm Jake Dyke.
Thank you, Jake. Despite residents' concerns, the chief says the changes are there to stay.
This past Tuesday, the United States announced that they were recommending a pause in the Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine. The Associated Press reports this is an attempt to investigate blood clots that are potentially dangerous. The CDC and the FDA are looking into unusual clots in 6 women who are between the ages of 18 and 48, one who has died. The clots occurred 6 to 13 days after receiving the vaccine. More than 6.8 million doses of the J&J vaccine have been given in the U.S., where most who have received it have had little to no side effects. The company said in a statement they were aware of the reports of blood clots, but a link to the clots and vaccine has not yet been established. No sign of clot problems have been found with the Moderna and Pfizer vaccines. In response to the pausing of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, the University of Toledo has announced it has updated plans for this week's vaccine clinics. The university will host 1 vaccine clinic today, providing the 2-dose Pfizer vaccine instead of the single-dose Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Appointments are available for all employees and current students, age 18 and older, today at the Thompson Student Union Auditorium. Those who receive their vaccine today will receive their second shot on Thursday, May 6th, in the Health Education Center on main campus. To schedule an appointment, you must log into the university's COVID-19 vaccination website. You must schedule your appointment in advance, and the appointments will be on a first-come, first-served basis. For any more questions regarding registering for the vaccine, you can email the university. We have a link to that address and the COVID vaccination website posted on our website, ut10news.com. Meanwhile, the rec center on campus is loosening some of its restrictions put in place during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Right now, we are currently following the guidelines of ODH, the Ohio Department of Health. What we've decided to do as a department is we're using what we call a phased-in approach into bringing back some of those things that we've all become accustomed to.
Things like playing basketball, or going swimming with a group of friends, practicing group routines, or playing tennis.
The only things that have been, I guess if you want to call it changed or kind of, and again, I want to use the term phased in, would be the utilization of our court spaces. Volleyball, we've extended usage there.
And this usage has been extended up to 4 people on each side of the net, when previously, players were only allowed to play in 2s. And one of the biggest changes that students are very excited about is the basketball court now being open to 4 people per rim when previously it was just 3.
I think just being able to play with my friends again, play basketball, it's just nice, like good sense of community. You get to hang out with your friends, stay active. I definitely miss that about, not being able to do that before. So,
Pryor says that although restrictions are loosening up, social distancing will still be required, as well as the use of face masks indoors, and the equipment will continue to be wiped down.
I think it's important that we share that we will make sure that your experience is one where you come in and you can utilize the facility and feel safe at all times.
In Toledo, I'm Devin Harrison, UT 10 News.
As for what fall will look like at the rec center, there's still some uncertainty. For updates on rec center restrictions and changes, please visit our website, ut10news.com.
A local woman says she's got tired of driving miles out of her way to get the modest clothing her faith calls for. As UT10's Maya May shows us, she took matters into her own hands.
Clothes are flying off the racks at this new clothing store on Monroe Street near Auburn Road. The fully covered store founders, Tiffany Blackman and Lakila Carter, felt modesty was hard to come by in Toledo.
We felt like, why not create something here? Because if we're having the issues, I'm pretty sure there were probably, 10 plus more others who are going through the same thing.
The closest stores that sold modest and Muslim garments could be found in Highland, Ohio and Dearborn, Michigan, within 20 and 60 minutes away. Opening up Fully Covered is how Blackman and Carter decided to strengthen their faith. Helping people get their modest garments and accessories in the city that they live in is a part of Blackman's mission. To her, it started with saving money from travel expenses and led to something more valuable.
That was really our main goal, was to fill that void and to help Sisters Cover and make it a little bit easier to transition into, this lifestyle.
In Toledo, Maya May, UT10 News.
To find out more about Fully Covered and its founders, visit ut10news.com.
I'm Becca Lustig, and this is your UT10 News Sports Report. Toledo softball dominated this past weekend, but first, the women's soccer team came back after a 2-week COVID-19 pause to face off against Western Michigan. Both sides were evenly matched as neither team could score a goal in the first half. At the start of the second, the Rockets were hungry, and they delivered quick. At only 7 minutes into the second half, junior Ashton Castle blasted the ball into the goal from 15 yards out, giving the Rockets a 1-0 lead. But just 3 minutes later, the Broncos tied the score 1-1. The Rockets fought hard to gain a lead, but ultimately, Western Michigan shot another goal with just 2 minutes left of the game. The Rockets fell just short of winning with a final score of 1-2. Rocket softball played another doubleheader this past Friday, this time against the Ohio Bobcats. The Rockets started off strong by taking a 3-0 lead in the second inning, but the Bobcats would come right back with a 2-run home in the top of the third. Freshman Jenna Kroll answered the Bobcats with a 2-run blast, helping the Rockets earn 5 runs in the bottom of the third. The Bobcats would try to catch up to Toledo, but the Rockets would ultimately win with a score of 10-8. In the second game, senior Dana Denner's 3-run homer would put the Rockets at a 6-1 lead in the second inning. But this wouldn't be enough, as the Bobcats scored 5 in the fifth and continued to score in the 6th and 7th innings. Rockets fall with the score of 7-10. While Rocket softball travels to Western Michigan, baseball will play at home this Friday and Sunday against Akron. Back to you, Caleb and Lexi.
Traditionally, today is a day of panic for some, the tax filing deadline. But like so many other things, COVID has changed that.
The deadline to file federal income taxes and state income taxes this year in Michigan and Ohio has been extended to Monday, May 17th.
A bit of history. Income tax was first collected in the U.S. in 1862 to fund the Civil War. There's actually 9 states that don't do an income tax.
Really now?
It must be nice.
It must be.
The closest state to us that doesn't do an income tax is Tennessee, with like Texas, Florida, Nevada. I can't remember the rest of them, but yeah, it must be nice to not have to do an income tax. And make sure you don't or procrastinate when filing for your taxes. That's it for UT10 News.
But we have a special UT10 Extra coming up.
Remember, you can catch newscast replays on YouTube. Don't forget to follow us on social media and listen to 88.3 WXUT FM Saturday mornings at 7:45 for the UT10 Weekly News Update. Keegan Shannon will be back with a restaurant review after the break.
Let's say you're someone like Anthony. Smart, hardworking, up for a challenge. You check out big old anonymous State University. And you feel, well, like a number. Then you do a 180. You visit the tiny technical school in your neighborhood. But now you start thinking they may not have the majors, research, technology, and experiences that you're sort of expecting. And then you check out U Toledo. You meet a professor, and she tells you about the clinical experience you'll get right here at the University of Toledo.
Welcome to this UT10 Extra. I'm Keegan Shannon. For today's restaurant review, we're heading downtown to check out the all-new Grinders Coffee and Community. This coffee shop has made a name for itself as a woman-owned business and LGBT+ safe space. The atmosphere is relaxed with a modern Toledo twist. The corner view of Erie and Adams Street is enjoyable to watch, but I think some board games or jigsaw puzzles could be beneficial. So the atmosphere gets a 3 out of 5. For today's review, I ordered a standard 16-ounce latte, one of several drinks and variations on the menu. I love the design and the foam on top. It adds a little extra value to the drink in my opinion, so appearance gets a 5 out of 5. The flavor is smooth and creamy, and the temperature not boiling hot, a pet peeve of mine. So the latte gets a 5 out of 5. Among the different drink variations, ice cream is also incorporated in the different styles and flavors.
I think probably the fact that we have ice cream has really drawn a lot of interest. Something that we've planned from early on. We didn't want to have blenders or like frappes and things like that because it's, we wanted to do something different, something a little more modern.
The ice cream combined with the options of almond, oat, or soy milk mean that there is some variety to be had here. They're also the only downtown coffee shop to use uncommon coffee from Saugatuck, Michigan. So I'm giving drink options a 3 out of 5. Overall, I think Grinders Coffee Company has earned a B. Being a new business, there's plenty of room for improvement, but what they have is on the number. Thank you for watching this UT10 Extra. Join us next week when we visit a downtown staple to test their appetizers. I'm Keegan Shannon, and I'll see you next week.